Should we talk about some nerding news?
Yes, we still have the news to go through, don't
We do.
we?
Um,
Quite a packed week.
yes, as always. Not as always. I'm not saying as always. As it's been a longer time, this is all in chronological order. So we're going to start off with the tragically upsetting news that Dame Maggie Smith has
Yeah,
passed away, coming up on 2 weeks ago now. I will be amazed if you haven't already heard the news, but anyone who's very important to some of the stuff we cover here, we always try and
yeah,
cover it and give our thoughts. Um, I know that me and you have spoken about Maggie Smith on here before, and we both
yeah,
have a lot of love for her. Um, this was one of them announcements of a celebrity dying that really was just kind of like a you sit for a moment and you let
yeah.
yourself have a little tear.
Yeah,
Um,
it's that tough. I think the tough thing was the real, like, obviously an incredible actress that we've lost, but the tough realization is she was 89,
89,
and it's like,
survived cancer twice.
damn, 89 is good age, and it's like, damn, we're gonna get to the point where we're gonna see a lot more of them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's at that point where it's like, unfortunately, it's not a surprise that it's their time. And I think as on top of that, I'm then like, oh shit, how am I going to be when Ian McKellen?
Yeah.
Because like they're all the same era.
Her, McKellen, Patrick Stewart are three people
Yeah,
that I've always adored. No matter what they've done, I've always been enamored with the way they act. Um, and it's the realization that they're not going to live forever. Fucking sucks.
yeah, it does.
Um, but yeah, lots of love for Dame Maggie Smith, and long may her art live. Next up, according to, according to the Hollywood Reporter, a Bane slash Deathstroke team up film is in the works, with Matthew Orton, who was one of the writers on Captain America Brave New World, writing the script.
Hmm.
It's an
In
interesting team up to
Yeah, I
me.
was going to say it's a very interesting team up choice
I don't know if they've ever done anything really
in the
together in the
comics.
comics. Um, yeah, based on what I'm seeing here, a lot of the articles are like, it's interesting to choose these two because they've like basically never done anything together.
Do you know what this
It gives you a lot
almost?
of room to try something.
Yeah, it
Maybe
almost
it's a
feels
versus film. Maybe Deathstroke's
possibly.
been hired to kill Bane.
It's just, do you know what this almost feels like? A little bit of like, oh, everyone loved Bane from the Batman films. Oh, everyone loves Deathstroke, the guy with the fucking swords, and let's just team them up.
Is this DC's attempt at Deadpool Wolverine, do you think?
I hadn't even thought of it like that. But you know what? What if it is and they do a multiverse thing and they go and pull like Christian Bale's Batman and
It won't be,
it
but
won't.
yeah, I'm curious to see what this comes. I'm kind of we know so little about the DCU so far
Yeah.
that I kind of just trying to be open minded about everything until I have reason to be worried about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that project could hold, but I'm probably going to go watch it. So
I think
I mean, I've watched Madam Web. Like I will. You have no idea how low I will sink just in case it's good.
so much copium in this man's body. Um yeah, I mean, honestly, until we get the first DCU project, which will be Superman. Well, no, sorry, Creatures Commander, but Superman being the first live action,
Yeah, we know
we
nothing.
won't have a feel for what this world's gonna kind
Yeah,
of look like for the DCU.
completely agree.
So who knows? Maybe something gets revealed in that we're like, oh, that's how that would link in.
Yeah. Um, After being challenged in court, Marvel and DC have lost their joint
So
trademark on the term superhero.
very
So,
interesting.
a lot of people won't realize they own this trademark because it's just kind of a thing that no one realizes. But that's why, like in The Boys, they use the term soups.
Yeah.
If you
It's
actually think about it, you'll realise there's a lot of superhero projects that never use the word superhero, and this is why Marvel and DC have owned this since like the 60s.
um it's similar to the fact that Wizards of the Coast own the term Dungeon Master, which is why every other tabletop RPG uses Game
Game
Master.
Master. Yeah.
It's the same idea. It's like,
Well, it's really funny because on Dropout Dimension 20 shows, the pop-up always says Game Master for Brennan,
yeah,
even though he introduced himself as a Dungeon Master.
yeah. I think it's for stuff like that. They're kind of a bit more lenient. But like, if you ever use
Yeah, they'll have a relationship.
well, if you ever like print a tabletop RPG book, that's where they're proper strict on stuff. But yeah, it's the same idea. It's wild that they've only just lost this.
Well, it's crazy because they've defended it in court, I believe, 3 times before.
Oh shit.
It's just finally now, I think, enough independent projects have got big enough where they were like, no, it's actually a pretty general term. I don't think you're allowed to own this anymore.
Yeah, it's been around too long now.
Exactly. ABC Signature is being shuttered and folded into 20th Television. It's really sad to see a studio that gave us many iconic shows go. Some of the shows that ABC Signature was responsible for making include Lost, Scrubs, the comedy Blackish, Daredevil, and some other of the Marvel Netflix shows,
Mm-hmm.
Grey's Anatomy, and Criminal Minds, to name just a few. It is genuinely terrifying that a studio that's made so many, not just great, but also long-running and very successful shows.
Mm.
Like Grey's Anatomy is entering its 21st season.
Yeah.
Criminal Minds had, I think, 14 of the original seasons, and then it's like spun off into a different new thing on Disney Plus. Scrubs, 7 seasons, 6 of them are phenomenal. Blackish, phenomenal comedy. Daredevil, so good, like genuinely phenomenal TV, and it sucks that it can be shuttered like that so
Well,
easily and callously.
I suppose the thing is, it's like the studio of what it actually is isn't really going anywhere. It's just the brand is being merged.
But
It's the issue
they
with
might be more compromising of vision and ideas.
possibly, but like it's this overall sad thing is that like things are just getting absorbed into one big corporate brand, and brands that have so much history. We're losing brands that have so much history purely because it's like, oh, we don't want to have another logo and brand to manage. We're just going to put it all under this one.
Mega corporations are here. I'm getting in some fresh chrome, and I'm going to Arasaka Tower. If you know, you know. Now this bit of news does get me very excited. DC are working on a Robin's origin story centered around Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, who are orphans living on the streets together, going by the nickname the Dynamic Duo. Produced by James Gunn and Matt Reeves, although it will not be set in the Reeves verse, it will be animated by Swaybox Studios using a mixture of CGI, puppetry, and live-action real-time performances.
I didn't see this bit about the CGI puppetry and stuff.
When you get a minute, go and have a look at Swaybox Studios. They've got a show-off reel to show like their style. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about Dick Grayson and Jason Todd knowing each other pre-Batman. But as I said, I'm trying to just keep an open mind to everything because I might really like it. While I understand that source material is important, if we don't do anything new, what's the point?
Yeah.
I like the idea of them being the dynamic duo. By the sounds of the early synopsis, it sounds like as they get slightly older, they drift and go different paths. So Dick goes more crime fightery, Jason goes more, I'm going to make the streets safe by controlling the streets.
Yeah.
The studio style is wacky and different. I have no opinion on whether I like the style or not. I don't actually care right now because I'm asking for people to try things and do new things. Yeah. They're doing it.
It also,
I
like,
will,
if it is really out there, they can just have it sit in the, like, same realm that Reeves verse does.
yeah, that it can be an Elseworld story if they're
Yeah,
not
that's
too
what
happy with
that's
it.
the term.
But it sounds cool.
Do you know what I love? You've obviously said several times, and it is like a discussion that we have been starved for Robin in films.
Do you know? Sorry,
And it's
now you
almost
say
like James Gunn's gone, oh, you guys want Robin. What if I just gave you just Robins?
so. Do you know what made me realise truly how fucking starved we've been?
Go on.
This didn't make it onto the news, but it's now kind of by proxy made it on.
Mm-hmm.
Batman got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame about a week and a half ago.
Robin didn't.
No, none of the Batman actors appeared, as far as I know. Some voice actors did, but no live action actors appeared.
That's wild.
A Robin appeared though.
Oh.
The actor who played Robin alongside, oh my god, I'm gonna blow my own brains out. Adam West's Batman in the 60s. That they're looking for a Robin to come along and celebrate Batman getting his own Walk of Fame, and let's go back to the Robin from the 60s to find one someone would give a fuck about. I'm going to say this one last time. Batman doesn't exist without Robin. Give us Robin.
Do you know what's funny?
Imagine trying to do a Batman film without Alfred. People would lose their fucking mind.
Do you know what's wild? The amount of times we've had a Robin hinted.
Yes.
The amount of, like, name drop, but we never do anything with it.
I mean, Christopher Nolan fucking named a character Robin instead of having Robin. I love Chris Nolan, but I've never wanted to punch that man more than when that happened. Right, the Spider-Man Noir series has begun filming with Brendan Gleeson, Lamore Morris, who was in New Girl, recently won his first Emmy, and of course Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
That's all we know about it. I'm very interested.
Yeah, has potential to be really cool.
Studios are reportedly assembling super fan focus groups to try and avoid social media backlash by showing them upcoming things and then letting them go, this is a bad idea. This, of course, resulted in massive backlash because
it's a bad idea.
And I'm not actually going to try and dress it up prettily here.
Okay.
If you try and create this group, you are going to end up with a room of people who look like me and Horry, but think that people who look like me and Horry are minorities. That's what you're going to end up with. And as a result of that, you will never get anything good ever again. Imagine letting people who are super fans from, like, just look at Twitter for 5 minutes, and imagine getting just scroll, just like search hashtag Star Wars.
Oh, this is exactly where my brain went.
100 different people, put them in a room, and let them look at what you've got planned. You'll never make anything good ever again.
You've already. It's like if you get the Star Wars super fans, I look forward to getting Luke Skywalker from ages 5 through to 76 or
and
whatever.
All of them are just Mark Hamill de-aged or aged up. Like there's no other actors.
I don't trust super fans.
No.
Because as soon as you are a super fan, you are far too dedicated.
Yes.
So then you've got very skewed opinions.
Do you know who you should trust? Creatives.
Just let artists be out. Right?
Trust creative people. Let writers and actors and directors act, write, and direct. And then see what fans think. I know it's expensive. I know making films is expensive, but guess what? Cut the budget down to a reasonable number. Like Joker Folie à Deux didn't need to cost 200 million to make. It didn't. Cut it down to a reasonable number, and then if it's a failure, you're not going to lose as much money, and also people are more inclined to have some fun with it. Because guess what? I'm not playing with that much money. There's less pressure, comparatively.
Yeah.
Let art win.
It's just not a good idea.
Angry dudes on the internet who've never left their mother's basement make decisions for studios.
Also,
they don't know what they're doing.
How do you prove you're a super fan?
Yeah, is there going to be a test?
You're going to do a law test?
Yeah, are they gonna do like the joke about like a girl wearing like a Stone Roses t-shirt and some 45-year-old dude comes up and go, name every album? Is that what they're gonna do? You're gonna apply to be part of the Lord of the Rings and they're gonna be like, quote page 312 of the Silmarillion. Like, what?
No, it's going
How
to
do
be
you do that?
please speak in Elven for the entirety
Yeah.
of this.
Like, what do you? How do you prove what a superfan is? But also, how do you prove that a superfan actually cares about progressing a franchise and doesn't just want to piss and bitch and moan about what's changed? This is a horrific idea.
Do you know who they'll end up getting?
Me,
Influencers.
if they're lucky.
No, they'll get influencers that I'm Star Wars. I make Star Wars content on YouTube, and no, but like you know what I
There's
mean.
one guy they definitely won't get.
But like that's the thing. They'll just end up leaning on influencers that their whole brand is like an IP, and they're not going to give an everyday opinion. It's such.
I care about these brands trying new things and progressing. I wouldn't even want a room of people who think like me to be given that much power.
I struggle listening to him for 2 hours.
Do you know? No, but do you know what I mean? Like, I genuinely believe that my thoughts and opinions are obviously good and valid. Otherwise, I wouldn't have them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want a room of people who think like me to be given that kind of power. Let alone people who are racist and homophobic and horrific. And I know they'll say, "Oh, but we're not going to let them people in." Guess what? They're already part of your fucking community, and you're not doing anything about it.
Yep.
Like, terrifying, the notion that they're going to hand over IP control to super fans.
This sounds like something that was discussed as an idea in a marketing meeting, and it's made it to the news.
Terrible. Todd Phillips says he thinks his time with DC is over after Joker 2. He thinks he's happy with the story he told through these two films, and he doesn't plan on doing anything else with them.
It's fair.
Not a massive surprise. If you've seen Joker 2, you know that kind of makes sense anyway. Rings of Power is expected to be renewed for a third season.
Yep.
I don't have the full quote here, but someone high up at Amazon basically said, "We're really happy with the numbers it's doing. It's getting a lot of views, a lot of engagement. People clearly like the show and want to watch the show, so we're going to keep making it. We're not too worried about it. We know shows take time to get their feet, which is hilarious in an age of Netflix and Disney cutting everything before it's had time to find its feet. Do you know how much it sucks that I'm rooting for Amazon in something? I hate it here.
It's wild that this is the world we live in.
But this is they're letting a show find its feet and they're being rewarded for it. Brilliant news here though. Ian Schneider has reported that Sam Raimi is returning for Doctor Strange 3. We're so back.
God, it's going to be interesting to know what they do with Doctor Strange for the next.
Yeah, I'm excited though because that man visually cooked up a storm for Multiverse of Madness.
True, and I suppose it did end with his with the
clear.
Yeah, with the third eye stuff
and a rumor of an incursion.
Well, depending on what happens in Agatha, maybe it'll be linked with that.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to get into it now. This thing's already running long and that's a massive tangent I'll get lost in. I caught myself, you're welcome. Chris Nolan is already working on his next film. It will reportedly star Matt Damon and is due for release summer 26. Tasty.
Okay.
Well, you don't think that's big news? Fuck you.
No, I'm just like, Chris Nolan and Matt Damon working together.
I think that'd be class.
Oh no, I think it will. It's just the fact that, like, you know, when directors like have set actors they always like use a lot.
Oh, it's because it's like not one of his 4 actors he likes using.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's Matt Damon. It's a change.
You know what it is? Cillian Murphy's too expensive now. That man's got an Oscar.
True. He's raised him too high.
Yeah. Reacher on Prime, a show that I've always been a very big advocate for.
I still need to watch.
Renewed for season 4.
Oh.
Season 3 is not even out yet. Comes out in 2025.
Oh. Still got time then.
Reacher doing numbers. We love to see it. And of course, the biggest bit of news of the week, which is only kind of broken yesterday. Aaron Pierre, main actor in Rebel Ridge and played a role in the TV show Krypton. And Kyle Chandler from Friday Night Lights and Mayor of Kingstown have signed up to be Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, respectively, in the Lanterns TV show. Aaron Pierre, I think, is a really good casting. Having just watched him in Rebel Ridge, he kind of gave what I was looking for. I don't know too much about Jon Stewart, so I can't talk more than that. I like the casting, though. I think he'll do a good job. Kyle Chandler is a good actor, but he's 59 years old, so I have the same issue with him that I had with all of the other rumoured candidates for Hal Jordan. He's too old.
Yeah. I had to look up to remind myself who it is.
Don't
But
get me wrong. Hollywood money does bits. He doesn't look 59. The guy looks fucking great for his age.
yeah, I
But
get what you mean.
he's
For
not going to be Hal
longevity.
Jordan for 11, 12 years.
Yeah.
He's not going to be Hal Jordan at 71 years old.
Hollywood money's good, but it's not that good.
Exactly. And also, we know the amount of steroids they go try and pump these boys full of.
True.
That's not.
No,
good
what are you
for
about?
the
They've got
guy's health.
AI to do that now.
Yeah. I don't dislike Kyle Chandler as an acting choice. Just like I didn't dislike the idea of Josh Brolin as an acting choice. My sole concern is that they're both pushing 60.
Yep.
In fact, Kyle Chandler, I believe, is older than Josh Brolin. Unless I'm losing my mind here. Josh Brolin, age.
I don't know.
56, yeah. He's older than the oldest of the three that I said were too old.
Well, there you go then. Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, I'm trying to be positive about everything, but I'm just really concerned about that casting age.
It's fine. They're going to be in CGI suits all the time.
Never.